Hey guys, and welcome back. So today we're continuing on our metals for the week, and today is antiqued copper. So let's start off with our colors. For the very highlighted part, I have ivory, which is a very light, it's almost white. Cinnamon, which is a pinkish tan kind of a color, and that's kind of my base, just for the overall color of it. Then I have Nougat, which is a very mild brown, but I like it. It definitely has a little bit of a very neutral feel to it, which is good. Then I have Burnt Sienna, which is very vibrant. It's a very red brown, and I like it a lot. It's a very intense color. And for our shadows and shade, I have, for the dark, the shade, I have walnut brown. So, we're going to start off with ivory, and that is for just exactly where our light is going to be hitting and the most on my piece of metal here. And I'm having the light come straight down on this, which is so that it gives it a very rounded feel. And I just go very lightly over this, and that helps when you go over it with cinnamon to keep your cinnamon very light, and it helps it to blend in together because you're going to go over it. And cinnamon is kind of my base color, what I want to build everything on. And so I just go over it. I leave just this little tiny bit with just the ivory and color the rest of it pretty much cinnamon. Just light layers because we're going to go through it again and blend it all. And then I'm going to go to my Nougat and just go around. And we're just echoing this shape. Just going lightly around it. To give it that round form and that round feeling of metal. Maybe these are like drops. And then this is Burnt Sienna to really give it some added warmth. Burnt Sienna is a very intense color, and I really enjoy that. I use it in gold, I believe, as well when I do my gold tutorial. I could be wrong. We'll see. And that just brings a lot of added vibrancy into here. And then I'm going to grab walnut brown and go right into the darkest parts, making sure to go around the edges. And down here where there's going to be going under my little ball, or maybe it's a gem, I don't know, I'll have to decide later. But yeah, I want to make sure that all of my edges are pretty dark, since antiqued copper gets really dark around the edges and in the shadow. And then I'm going to come back with cinnamon and just start getting this really nicely blended around all of here. If you have a blender pencil and you would want to use that, this would be a good time to use that. I like using the cinnamon to give it that extra color. And kind of bringing the color up to where I want on my highlighted portion. And then if you feel like you need to, go back in with whatever color you need. I'm going to use Nougat and just kind of go in and darken this a little bit. Make sure I'm getting a very seamless blend in some of these spots from the cinnamon to the walnut brown. And that is my antiqued copper look. For one of these square spots, you can do it like this, which is the same. You're just giving it a little bit of a wider highlight. And to do that, I just use my cream first and kind of almost go over the majority of the top, what I would think of as the top of this piece. And then take my cinnamon and of course go around that, going on top of it as well to continue blending it into there. But you can see how, even though I'm using the same pressure, you've got a difference in the tone because it's going over the lighter part, which keeps it lighter, which is a good thing. With the cream or the ivory as a base. And then I'm going to grab Nougat and begin getting into the corners. And around the edges. Just like that. Get my burnt sienna. And gives it that intensity. Antique copper is probably one of my favorite metals, especially to go with green or blues gems. It's just one of my favorite in real life too. Like, I love antique copper, probably right next to silver. Silver is my all-time favorite. It's the one I like the best. As far as my normal jewelry, I'm going in here with walnut brown to really get my edges I'm going to come back and try and just kind of soften everything in together with my cinnamon, going very, very lightly, round circle motions. I'm just trying to get everything to blend really, really well. So that I can have this great looking antique copper. So there we go. That is my antique copper look. Take your time with it. Play with the different variations, different color combinations if you want. You know, using more or less depending on how bright you want it to look. And I hope you use it. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you make your coloring pages and gemstone settings and everything else very metallic. Have a nice time, and I'll see you next time.